Today's topic will be centered upon carbon markets. So recently, carbon markets or credit systems in environment. So recently, a lot of happenings have occurred in 2022. What India did was we amended a particular bill, Energy Conservation Act, in order to increase or inculcate the carbon market mechanism within India. And European Union, they already have this emission trading systems, and recently in the COP28 also we also discussed about a program called as the Green Credit Program. So this is what today's topic will be based upon: carbon credit systems, carbon markets, and the other credit systems that are in news. So yes, we'll start with carbon market. So what is a carbon market? Carbon market is nothing but a tool that has been set forth to price emissions, especially carbon based emissions. For example, if a particular company emits more carbon than it is supposed to emit, we can use this polluter pays principle not to tax that particular company and gain things, or like gain reduce them, make them reduce their own carbon emissions, or make them pay for the increase in emission and all these stuff. So yes, this is what carbon markets is: a place where carbon credits and offsets are traded voluntarily, and compliance markets are also there. So it helps in putting a hold, or it helps in having a leash over carbon emissions in the globe. And basically, there are two types of carbon markets. One is the compliance market and the voluntary market. Now, what is this compliance market? Compliance market is nothing but a market, a carbon market that has been oriented, or it has been developed and regulated officially by a government, be it at any level you take, be it at the local level, regional level, national level, or the international level for that matter. A compliance market is something that has been officially regulated by a government at any levels. Now we'll move on to the voluntary markets. Voluntary, we already discussed, right, the emission trading system of the European Union that is in place, and also the recent 2022 Energy Conservation Amendment that tries to inculcate the carbon markets within India's environmental sphere. All these things it comes under the compliance market. Now we'll move on to the voluntary markets. Voluntary markets are also similar to compliance market. So there are also all these carbon credits, carbon offsets are all traded, given in bought and sold. All these stuff happen there also. But what is the difference is that these are mostly regulated by private entities. They have this common forum, they have this common framework to assess the quality of carbon credits, and then they sell it in the voluntary markets. So these are all regulated by the, not regulated, but yes, dominated by the private players. So these are the two types of markets, carbon markets, that we have: the compliance market and voluntary market. And there are also two basic methods that have been used in carbon markets. The two methods are carbon credits and carbon offsets. So what are these carbon credits and what is this carbon offset? We'll see carbon credits first. So carbon credits are nothing but it just gives an individual a right to emit 1 ton of carbon dioxide. It is nothing but a right to emit. Let us take like this. Let us take a token. Token that is written like CO2. If you have this token, you can emit 1 ton of CO2. Just like that, it is also credit only, just like a virtual token and all these stuff. So this is what a carbon credit is. Let us take this very good example. Let's take into a scenario. There are two companies, A and B. Now, me being the government, I am setting a particular target for company A and company B, so that they can emit up to 100 tons of carbon dioxide. That is 100 tons of carbon dioxide. I am giving them 100 credits to emit. That is 100 into 1. We have 100 tons of carbon dioxide can be emitted by both A and B. Now, A is not environmentally sustainable, and A is emitting around 120 units of carbon in a particular year, let us say 2024. And what B is doing is, B is using all its capital towards environmental sustainability and reducing the amount of carbon dioxide emitted to 80 tons per year, that is to 2024. So what has happened is that A has increased its emissions by 20, B has decreased its emissions or reduced its emissions by 20. Now what B can do is that B has this extra 20 carbon credits, right? It can sell it to A. And A will pay a particular amount, a market-based mechanism, market-based amount to B, and get this credit so that it can offset, it can reduce the emissions that it has emitted, and B will get the monetary compensation for acting environmentally prudent. So this is how these markets work. This is what carbon credits is. And now what is this carbon offset? So carbon offsets are nothing but mechanisms through which carbon emissions can be offset, can be removed, carbon dioxide can be removed from the environment. Like let us take another example. Company A is emitting around 120 tons of carbon dioxide. So he wants to be environmentally sustainable, he wants to be environmentally and ecologically prudent. So what he does is that he goes to a separate place and he contributes or he invests in afforestation programs and afforestation mechanisms, like any mechanism for that matter. Let us say solar energy promotion in a particular rural village, or wind energy promotion in a particular town, or anything for that matter, any environmentally sustainable projects. A is investing. So this is by investing in an environmentally sustainable mechanism or a product or a project, what I can do is that I can offset the carbon that I have emitted. I have emitted 120 tons. I am contributing, I am reducing the emission by planting trees or by investing in solar projects and all these things. So this is what carbon offsets, carbon credits are. The two basic methodologies used in carbon markets. Now we'll move on to something known as CBAM, that is the Carbon Border Adjustment Mechanism. Carbon Border Adjustment Mechanism. So recently, European Union released this Carbon Border Adjustment Mechanism in order to become much more environmentally prudent. So what is this CBAM? Is that it is a non-tariff mechanism. So we have this tariffs and non-tariff mechanisms, right, when it comes to international trades. So CBAM is a non-tariff mechanism. What does this CBAM do? So CBAM, that is the EU, it makes the importers comply with certain environmental standards. So what are these environmental standards? It wants the importers of products in the European Union to report to the European Union that so much of carbon has been emitted, so much of greenhouse gases have been emitted in importing these goods or in the production of these goods that I have imported. So now let us say a person, let us say an importer imports around 10 carbon units, 10 some product, 10 pens, they emitted around 2 tons of carbon. So I will have to report it to the European Union that I have emitted 2 tons of carbon here. And what I have to do is that I have to go get the CBAM certificates that offsets this 2 tons of carbon dioxide. This is how CBAM works, and CBAM has a lot of issues also. A lot of developing countries, including India, have criticized CBAM, that it is against the it is against the common but differentiated responsibility and respective capabilities mechanism, and all. We know that CBDC and RC and all. So yes, a lot of developing countries have criticized European Union for moving into such a program. So this is what CBAM is, and the debates are still going on. But yes, the CBAM is in effect. It started its transition effect in October 1st, 2023, and it is in effect still only. So this is what the CBAM is also about. And moving on to the Indian initiative, that is the Green Credits Program. So Green Credits Program, it is similar to the Carbon Credits Program. We already have this carbon markets in place, right? So similar to that, we are also inculcating Green Credits Program, where individuals, is a voluntary market based mechanism where individuals, communities, companies, organizations, they can come forth voluntarily and invest in green projects to gain green credits. Green credits, green projects in the sense there are n number of green credits, but Green Credits Program focuses on 8 green credit program, which will be listed down there. It will be listed down in the PDF. And 2 major things that the Green Credit Program particularly focuses on is afforestation and water conservation. So these 2, and alongside there are also 6 other things like waste management, sustainable agriculture, renewable energy, and all these things are there, will be listed down there. This is how the Green Credit Program works. And recently, as we have discussed earlier, the COP28 also, India unveiled its Green Credit Program. One thing that is to be remembered when it comes to the Green Credit Program is that it is being administered by the ICFRE, that is the Indian Council of Forest Research and Education, an autonomous institution under the Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change. So this is what the Green Credits Program is. India has taken it to the global forum also. It was actually introduced in India in the Union Budget of 2023-24. Thank you.